Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Linepull Podcast. I'm David, your host. With me today is Crane Guy 76, and
Hey,
we
how y'all
have
doing?
we have a special guest, Dick Frost from Canada.
What up?
How's it going,
Hey,
Chris?
Welcome, brother. How
thanks,
you doing
man.
over there,
It's
Dave?
good to be here.
I'm doing pretty good. How was your day, Chris?
Man, I'm on family vacation in Florida. Florida's like point 0.2 miles that way. So we've been to Florida a bunch. We've been to the beach a bunch.
Are you in Gulf
I'm
Shores or
extreme.
what?
Orange Beach, yeah. We're right past Gulf Shores. We're right by a bar called Floribama. Pretty
Oh yeah,
nice place. I'm extremely exfoliated from all the sand and slightly burned in places.
and
I just got over a burn on my head. Actually, it's peeling right now. I'm bald, so it really got
uh,
me good.
oh geez, and our special guest, Dick Frost. He
Hey,
he's from Canada, like I said. How was your day today, Dick?
oh, my day was great, man. Just got off work. My wife and kids are actually here visiting in the hotel with me for the weekend. Anyway, I think they're going home Monday. It's nice, because I've talked about it a lot on my lives on TikTok, where I've spent so much time working away.
Yeah,
Right, in the last 2 years, I only had 20 days at home. So now that if I can bring them to the hotel for a few days to visit, it's like I'm getting some of that time back. I'm not,
yeah,
but I got to think of it that way, right?
yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time in the Texas oil fields and away from family for extended periods. So, like, I think hotels is what made me drag up the oil field, to be honest.
Look where you're at.
And I'm at a damn hotel.
So yeah, I just got off. I got home probably about 6:30 my time. Uh, just a normal day working for Marathon doing wireline.
No,
Mm,
And
the whole
what is it you
wireline.
do? What is it you do, Dick?
Well, in the summertime, I actually don't work in the oil field. I work on a road construction crew because, in 2015, the price of the barrel, the Canadian price, anyways, crashed.
Yeah,
And, it got really slow. So I needed to find a way to keep making money and support my family. So I found this job here, and it's better money actually. Too bad it's not year round. The hours are phenomenal. I actually get time to relax, other than when I'm in and when I'm doing what I do in the wintertime. I run vac truck, so I'm a vac hauler, and I don't know if you guys have vac trucks in the U.S. I
oh
know
yeah,
oh yeah,
sometimes some of them in Texas. Yeah. Okay, so I run vac truck and clean rig tanks and just clean spills and stuff like that. And I don't get no time off. I think I pulled 170 hours a week last winter.
woo,
And that there's only 168 hours in a week, and I was doing 170 hours. It was insane. It was insane.
yeah.
There was no sleep. There was sleep,
Oh
but
wow,
on the way from job to job in the truck, right?
yeah,
oh definitely.
oh yeah. Yeah, we work a 21 and 7. Well, we're scheduled for a 21 and 7, but I usually work two
Yeah,
hitches, so I work about 42 days and then take a week off.
that's hard mentally, man. I
Oh,
was like I said, 20 days at home. I was doing 5 to 6 months in at a time,
mhm.
and that's hard. It gets hard up here, right? You look ahead, you have a bad day on like week 2 or 3. You look ahead, and there's still like 12 weeks left, 13 weeks left. And you're like, ah, now I'm now I'm doing 4 or 5 weeks, trying to bring that down to like three. I'm trying to
Yeah,
go 3 to 4. Right. So those 5 month hitches are done for me. That was hard mentally. I was just getting exhausted, burning out,
right.
and it wasn't good. It wasn't good for the family either. I have two daughters, two little girls, and a wife. I don't know how my wife stayed through that. That had
Yeah,
to have been really difficult for her because it
it
was
it
hard for
take
me. So
it takes a very strong woman to have an oil field work for what husband. Very
absolutely,
strong.
but we had, like I said, two daughters. Right, my youngest is 2. Right, so my wife used to work before my oldest was born, and now she's not. She's taking time off,
Yeah,
to raise our babies, and that's what I want, right?
yeah,
I make enough, she can stay home. And in order for that to happen, though, after we had our first daughter, there was an adjustment period where I had to work a little bit more to supplement for the income that she wasn't bringing in anymore, right?
Yeah.
So there's that. And then my second daughter came along, and then there's another adjustment period while we're still learning to adjust from the first one, right? So, you know, I had to work more. I had to work harder. And I thought that was what was best. And that wasn't best. You know, it wasn't best for me. It wasn't best for them. My oldest daughter didn't even know who I was. I was a stranger when I came home. She cried when I held her. She didn't want to be near me. And this summer,
That's hard
bringing
too.
her to
That's so
hotels.
hard.
Yeah, it is. It is. And this summer, having them come and stay in hotels with me, my wife has noticed it. My oldest daughter and I have actually become so much closer. We formed a bond. She wants to be around me. She's excited to see me now, right? And I love that.
I've been in the patch for 18 years. So same wife.
12. 12 here.
But
I feel like a newbie, 7.5. But my family was pretty much raised by then. I mean, my daughter's 21. So by the time I ever went to the oil field, she was pretty much on board. I've been working overtime since I was 19. I've been in the oil refineries since 95, but I became an operator in 98. And yeah, it's stressful on a family of a working man, regardless if it's a truck driver. If you're just a working man, it takes a strong family to be behind that person.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. So
Absolutely.
let's go ahead and get into our little news segment here. It's the U.S. rig count.
Ooh, what is the rig count?
Natural gas and oil rig count. So, as of July 29th, the rig count is 767 rigs.
Wow.
So
Now, is that up or down from this time last year?
it's actually down.
Yeah. You guys are a bit down. I know that for sure. We're actually way up considering where we were the last 7 years in Canada.
Now the
You know,
Canadian rig count, it rose 9 units to end at 204 as of Friday.
Yeah, and that's up. That's actually really high up from last year, right? The last couple of years, we've barely been over 100. It's been a rough 7 years, man. And you know, I'm excited. You know, that 170 hours signaled to me that we're back, baby. Money time, right? I'm getting old. This is my last kick at the can. I know it.
Yeah. But the rig count, when I first started in the oil field, or not when I first started in the oil field, but when I first started in cranes, I moved rigs for 6 months straight. So and there was rigs everywhere. You could throw a rock and hit a rig. But nowadays they're sparse. You can barely see them.
I love those pictures that I see on the American Facebook pages. There's like 6, 7 rigs all like right around each other. That's insane.
Oh, yeah.
In Canada, I've only ever seen 2, maybe 3 in the area, right? I've never seen 6, 7 or more rigs like that. That's insane. I'd love to see something like that.
Oh, yeah. I have an app on my phone that shows me the rigs and wells and everything.
Yeah.
I remember working in Midland. There was a sign in front of like the bank, and you know how the banks have the sign for the weather and stuff like that. They actually had the rig count because Midland, Odessa is a huge area. There's a bunch of rigs. What is it in Odessa? They stack rigs up, and I think they build and work on them right there. I don't know if
What do you
it's
mean?
neighbors.
What is there, a yard or?
It's a yard. Like if you drive between Midland and Odessa and their neighboring towns, there's just this huge yard, and they'll be stacked up out there. I don't know if they're working on them, if they manufacture them, but again, like I say, in Midland, there's this, at the bank. It's just so common for the oil field there that they have rig count right there next to the time and the temperature.
Man, I'd love to work in the U.S. Texas mainly. That's insane.
Oh, Texas is great. We just cook better in Louisiana.
I beg to differ.
Oh, yeah, y'all do tortillas. I'll give you that. And
Oh,
I
come on
still
now.
don't understand what the big deal about tamales is, but yeah, y'all's tamales are good. But we get them on aisle 7
Tamales
at
are
Walmart in
badass.
a can that says Hormel.
Yeah.
Man, you
Hormel
guys and
City.
your American food and your American snacks. My wife and I, we literally we live 3 hours from Montana. We're Kalispell, Montana, 3 or 4 hours. And we literally go just for the snacks because American snacks are so much better, so far
Yeah.
superior. You guys have everything except for Kinder Surprise. You guys apparently can't be trusted with little tiny toys.
I thought they made an American version of that now. I want to say I've seen it, but
They
it's
might have.
not the same thing.
They might have.
How's your rig count there in Louisiana?
Oh dear God. Uh, Man, I haven't kept up with any of that since I started working at the school teaching. I really kind of walked away from it, and
Yeah.
aside from what I guess honestly I keep up with it via TikTok of who I see my friends working. I still have a number of friends that are in the oil field in different companies, but it's still kind of blowing and going out towards Pecos Orla that way, isn't it? Jaw,
Oh
New
yeah.
Mexico.
Oh yeah.
That's still a boomtown area that I'm aware of.
Oklahoma's starting to kick back up.
Oh,
So
really?
I don't I
Yeah.
don't mean to bring like Biden or anything into this, but how has he hurt or whatnot the oil field in the U.S.? I've heard a lot, but I've never talked to anybody
Now,
That's a whole nother podcast.
there's
about it.
two different things here. Biden and his debacle has raised the oil price and all his goofiness. So it's like it dropped below 100, but it's around the 90s. So the higher the natural gas and oil prices are, the more we work because they want to get it out of the
Yep,
ground. Now, when the oil prices drop, then work kind of slows down and they
same
do
here.
little work. So Biden has actually been good for the private side of the oil field. Now, the federal land drilling permits and stuff like that, he's pretty much cut all that out. Just like the Keystone pipeline that was coming from Canada and the United States, he
Yeah.
cut that off and killed all them jobs and all that stuff. So yeah,
What do you guys pay per gallon?
we are at 3.98 a gallon.
3.98.
Is that
So
for
that's coming
gasoline
down
or
quite a bit because you guys were paying
Yeah.
6, weren't you? You guys were paying 6,
certain
weren't you, at one
areas?
point?
Yes. I mean, but in Louisiana and Texas, I'm paying 4.75 a gallon for diesel. I drive a diesel pickup truck.
So you
Uh,
guys ready to shit your pants? Canada, we pay per liter, and this past few months, it's been shit. We've been paying some places over $2 a liter, which equals out to be $9 a gallon.
Wow.
We
that's
pay
significant.
we pay a shit ton of money for our petrol, and no, it's not cool. And as a Canadian, our one of our only customers is America, right?
Yeah.
We sell our shit to you guys, and you guys clean it and sell it back to us at double the cost.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Well,
crazy.
we have a
Crazy.
number of very large refineries here.
Yeah, yeah, we're trying to build the pipeline the east-west pipeline, but we can't even get one little pipeline expansion done. Never mind an east-west pipeline. Quebec won't allow it. Goes right from the west coast to the east coast. That would bring our fuel price and way down. We would be paying
Now,
significantly less.
how do you British Canadians deal with the French Canadians ruling the whole nation?
There's a lot of animosity there, right? There's a lot of animosity. Quebec is looked at as a province that it's kind of like that coworker you got that like sucks the tea to the boss and he hangs out with him all the time, right?
Brown
And you
noser.
know he's getting more money, you know he's getting the good benefits and stuff like that. You know he's getting it, and that's Quebec. Quebec gets whatever they want, whatever
Yeah.
they want. if we want something, the federal government's like, yeah, I want to do that. We better go ask Quebec first what they think of that, right? Quebec.
Yeah.
So in Canada, our oil revenue gets put into equalization, and what that does is it spreads the oil revenue out across the whole country, and we're separated into have and have not provinces. Quebec technically is a have province. Technically, they get a lot of their money from their hydroelectric energy up north, right? That they sell to the U.S. and they're cash flush, but on paper they're very poor. So they take a lion's share of Alberta's oil revenue, right? They take, I think last year or during the pandemic or whatever, they got $21 billion. That's up from like 18, I think it was. And Ontario gets a lot, and all these, and for the first time, I think in 40 years last year, Alberta actually had to take from the equalization pot. They were a have-not province for the first time in 40 years or something like that, 50 years. Yeah. They had to dip into they had to basically pay themselves. Here you go. That was crazy. No, equalization is unfair. But that's like you said, that's a whole other podcast.
Oh yeah,
we could spend hours talking about equalization.
Now this is an app I use. I don't know if y'all can see this or not. Let me turn this. This is an app I use.
And what's the name of that app?
Well Site Navigator.
Oh yeah, and it shows all the well sites everywhere.
See, that's just Kennedy.
Good Lord.
Kennedy, Texas. Wow.
Now,
if I take it and I zoom it out,
How far out can you zoom?
that's the whole United States.
Wow.
That's 10,000 wells per pin drop.
Wow.
That's a lot of wells.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of holes
That's
in the ground.
insane. Yep.
Now,
sure is.
Chris and I, we'll get into our topic here at Oilfield Cranes. Chris and I, crane operators. He's a crane instructor now at a school, AAA Crane and Rigging in Addis, Louisiana. That's where he works.
Those who can't do teach, right?
Hashtag ouch.
Crane operators, most of our careers. So, like I said, I've started out in the oil field and seen a lot of different cranes in the oil field. I've ran a lot of different cranes. He has started in the petrochem, in the plants and refineries and stuff like that. So that's where he came up. Now, do you see a lot of cranes when you're out there doing your swamper and back truck stuff?
Especially on like fracks and stuff, right? Coil, fracks, lots of cranes. In Fort Mac, there's a bunch. I don't know. You guys have Mammut there?
Yes, we do.
In Mammut? Mammut's very big in the oil field, in the oil sands, actually, in Fort Mac. Mammut is huge, right? I never really saw them south of Fort Mac too much up until the last couple of years. There's actually a Mammut truck here in the parking lot of this hotel. I seen a massive crane up in Fort Mac at one of the oil sand sites 6-7 years ago. It was the biggest crane I've ever seen. I can't tell you anything about it. I can tell you that it was a big deal for it to be there and that it was huge. Everyone was like, oh, this crane is massive, and they were pretty pumped to bring this thing in.
We have a member that's in our crane group and in our podcast. His name is Crane Brain, and he's from the UK. And he works for Mammut. Yep. And he runs a 750-ton rebar.
Wow.
I thought he was on a 1750.
Yeah, it's a 750-ton.
Well, it'll package out. Well, it's 900 American tons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta remember.
As in your Freedom units.
We use Freedom units over here.
Freedom units. Jeez.
The War of 1812, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't there a war where Canada burned down your White House and then you guys
War
had
of
to move it
1812.
for strategic purposes? Yeah.
They moved it. Insane.
So where I'm originally from in Ontario, there's this place called Stony Creek, and nearby there's this sort of waterfall and like a canyon. It's called the Devil's Punch Bowl. And the story is that during the War of 1812, American soldiers tried to come up that hill, up that canyon, and they were easy pickings, and that's why it's called the Devil's Punch Bowl. It was filled with red,
Oh,
with a red, white, and blue.
yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. All of Hamilton and all of Southern Ontario is actually very historical for past wars and stuff like that.
Now, this is Connor. He's a guy from the UK. This is the crane he's working
That's
on.
the type we're looking at. We've got one for the length and then the two for the width.
Wow.
We call it a Christmas tree. It kind of
He does a lot of
it's actually called spread of
badass lifts. Yeah,
Wow.
that's his crane there.
Hey, how do you get this? How do you do that? How do you get video and stuff like that? How do you import that kind of thing on?
Share your screen.
See, now I wish I would have known that when I had a podcast. Damn, I because we use StreamYard, right? So that was,
Yeah.
Huh? Interesting. I'm gonna have to learn how to share my screen.
Here's
Are
another
you
one.
using a different device too?
Say what?
Are you using a different device than the one? Yeah, obviously. You're using
Yeah,
a
I'm just
different
using my
device than the
laptop.
one- Okay. You're on StreamYard on your laptop. All right, I don't have a laptop, so
Yeah.
I was just using my phone the whole time.
Yeah, that's a beautiful crane right
Look
there.
at that. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to give this
he's
guy a
swelled.
follow. What's his name on there?
Crane brain.
Crane Brain. Okay.
He's deceptively
Wow.
nice for all his tattoos. Really great guy.
Tattoos don't make a person. You know,
Oh,
like
absolutely
me, hey,
not.
I don't have any tattoos and I'm a dick.
I used to have one.
Now,
Dick?
I've
You used to have a
ran.
dick?
You asked for that one. You left that door wide open.
We're getting off topic. We're talking about oilfield cranes. Yeah.
I started out in truck cranes in the oil field. Stand behind little boom truck cranes, 20 ton, 30 ton. And, I graduated up to the bigger crane.
Interesting. I like that.
When I first started running a crane, it was a 90 ton Tadano. I love that crane. Scout, I move rigs with it, all kinds of stuff.
Tadanos are great
Yeah,
cranes. I speak highly of the ones I've ran. I've ran quite a few, mostly RTs, but a 250, a 220, and a 165 truck crane, and they were all stout. I was pleased with the ones I had.
You there? He froze.
Oh,
I
Dave,
was
you
gonna say.
can hear us. Yeah, you disappeared a second.
I was gonna say I myself, preferably, I prefer the whooping crane.
Whooping.
I think it's endangered, right? So
It may be. I don't know.
I guess we're about to find out if I get charged for shooting that one, huh?
It's the new generation.
Now, what's your experience like as far as your background? It's all oilfield cranes versus some of the other cranes you've been around, refineries, wind farms, stuff like that. What's your biggest difference you've noticed? For me, I
actually
think probably
seen
the
a
biggest thing I've
helicopter.
noticed is probably how clean they are or aren't. 'Cause you cannot keep a clean crane in the oil field on a coil or wireline job where they're having trouble holding steel with honey oil.
My favorite crane that I've noticed I got to watch a helicopter crane once, and I think I told Dave about this.
Yep.
Once. Yeah, the helicopter crane. The communication between the guy operating the helicopter and the guy operating the crane, like you gotta be all like spot on all the time at all times, right? Your communicate, it's
Oh, yes.
insane. I sat there
Oh, yeah.
watching it for a good like hour one time. They're like bringing in towers for like hydro towers, and they were like, steady, okay, move forward, move backwards, dropping,
Yeah.
and it was crazy. It was crazy.
Oh, their communication has to be spot on all the time.
Yeah.
Now I would imagine they're using two-way radios, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you gotta be 100%. Well, the guy operating the crane is technically underneath the helicopter, right? On the bottom.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, you got your connector on the bottom connecting the load, and then you got the helicopter flying it to the next place. You got another connector
Yeah.
there, so or rigger or whatever you want to call them, signalman. But I've seen them here in Corpus moving ACs, topping Lowe's or Home Depot and stuff like that.
With a
airplane.
helicopter?
Yeah.
Oh wow! Like I've seen them do AC units in downtown Baton Rouge with I don't know the size of the crane that they were using because you can't see the crane amongst all the buildings. You can just see the luffer
Yeah.
sticking way up in the air trying to get up there.
Yeah.
So
Man, you guys. So I don't know anything about cranes, but I have a tremendous amount of respect for crane operators. Like that's what you guys do has to be nerve wracking. You know what I mean? Like at times sometimes you're you know taken in the blind. You can't
Oh yeah.
see anything,
Yep.
and I've been down on the ground right next to a guy who's okay, over this way, and flawless communication right on the mic, and you can't even
Oh yeah.
see the crane operator at all. He's like, we're in like a plant, and there's
Yeah.
stacks and there's piping and everything blocking that guy's view. He's
Oh
lifting
yeah.
this big whatever it is and just lifting it over and bringing it in, and flawless communication. It's insane. I just look at that and like I know my track record for wrecking shit. I would hit everything.
well, that comes down to having a really good flagman that has a unique ability to be able to paint a picture, to be able to describe to that operator what's going on, what's around. They probably worked together quite a bit to be able to develop that
Yeah.
kind of level of precision because it's not guesswork; it's precision work based on what you tell me to do. And I've had some good flagmen in the blind, and I've had some people where it was pretty rough. And I'll just flat tell them the crew I'm working with, what it's like, hey, look, man, I'm no better than the hand signal or the radio signal that I'm given. So you kind of got to work with me, and I can only do so much. Now, if I can see the load, maybe we're landing it somewhere, I can kind of freelance a little bit and kind of give that person what he needs, maybe not exactly what he's asking for. But if it's in the blind, you cannot do that. There's no guesswork. Now, if we're
Yeah.
making multiple picks in a relatively same vicinity, I can go by my numbers and go, are you sure you want to set this down? Because the last one was about 4 foot the other way. But you
Yeah.
have to just you don't know that maybe there's been something that's placed there. Maybe they set up a water cooler stand there, and now we're moving where our landing zone. And you just have to trust the guy in the blind at that point. So having a great articulate flagman, and I don't necessarily mean that they speak English well. That I don't even really necessarily care about that. As long as they can draw the picture for me, I'm absolutely willing to work with anybody as long as we have good communication. So yeah,
The first time I did one of those, man, oh, I was nervous. I didn't trust the guy. He just started working with me. And I was like, man, this is signals I want, and don't give me no other bull crap. And if I'm 30 foot up from where we need to land, don't keep people down. Just tell me come down 20 feet. And then when I get about 6 feet, then you can start flagging me down. Step it off up there, how far it is that I got to boom down. And when you step off, boom down, 20 feet. And I can look at my computer and I can boom down 20 feet and get it kind of close. But you can't boom down and hold your load while you're in the blind. You can't see the load. And so you have to have the load up, then boom down, and then you start cabling down. But it's crane operating. It's not a physical job. It is a mental job. And
Yeah, 100%.
a lot of
100%.
crane operators get mentally tired at the end of the day, especially when they're
Yeah.
in duty cycle and having to constantly, look around them. You have to look 360 degrees because there's hazards all the way around there. So it's very mentally, but not as much physically. People give crane operators a hard time. Oh, you don't do nothing all day. You just sit around. Yeah, well, my
No,
brain is fried.
not at all.
Yeah.
Well, I've
Oh, absolutely.
noticed in Fort Mac, so the oil sands, the crane operators aren't allowed to leave their machines at all during the day. They have to sit there, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, you got 12 hours. You're either working or you're not, right? So you're in that crane. They want you to you're getting paid, so they want you to be in there. I don't know if it's changed. It's no while since I got there, but the cranes here down like where I work in Fox Creek and all that, when there's nothing for them to do, they go to their shack. They're resting, and I understand that. You don't know how long you're going to be on that joystick for, right? You don't know how long you're going to be as a vac hauler. I don't know how long I'm going to be on the end of that hose or on the end of that wash gun, right? So it's like, hey, I've been on the end of it for up to 40 hours straight. I've been on the end of it 8 hours straight, 20 hours. I've been on it for 10 minutes. You never know how long you're going to be on the end of it for.
Yeah.
So when I get a chance to rest, I'm doing it. I'm closing my eyes, whether I'm tired or not. I know at some point I'm about to get shit on. So like I'm taking every advantage I can to put my feet up while I can. And I can only assume that for crane operators as well, and which is why I said I have a tremendous amount of respect. My job is mentally tough and sometimes physically at the same time. Your guys is mentally tough all the time. I don't know all the time, but I couldn't. I don't think I could handle that. Honestly, I don't think I could.
Now my shack is a F350 King Ranch. I have my microwave, my 3,000 watt inverter. I got my TV, my Xbox, my laptop. I got all that stuff in my truck. That's my home. Chris
I've seen you in your truck on TikTok Live.
Chris had a blow up mattress in the back of his.
Yeah, I had a nice mattress in the back seat of mine, and I had a 17-inch tablet, which during football season, and I mean like American football, not that soccer stuff. I would watch a ton of football games. I think I've seen everything on Netflix and YouTube twice when I worked in the oil field.
I got a hard drive that has about 2,000 movies on it.
Oh, I think you actually gave me I think you gave me the Sons of Anarchy. I think I got those from you because I watched that a couple of times. Not proud to say I've seen it more than once, but
so when I worked for this company where like basically I was just in the shack. I was watching a screen. It was frac shack. We were fueling the frac pumpers, pretty much, right? And everything was automated, but things would fail, so you got to sit in there, right? And basically, I would throw it in auto, and I'd fall asleep, right? But it came a time where I couldn't do that anymore. So
Yeah.
we were parked right next to the data van on site, and I had the Wi-Fi password. So I watched 4 seasons in a week of the 100, right?
Oh,
4
wow.
seasons in a week. That was 4 years ago. I got to season 4. They moved the data van across site. It was minus 40 outside, and I wasn't walking across site to stand beside it. Download. I did take the truck over a couple times, parked next to it, download, but it became too obvious what I was doing. So I just sat in the shack, stayed there, and I never picked up the 400 ever again. It got stupid midway through season 4. I stopped watching it, and they moved the data van. So I just like, it's not worth it. So I just slept again. Like,
Yeah, now with streaming, I just sit in my truck and stream. I got an
Nice.
unlimited data plan, so I just sit there and stream.
Do you
I
ever
got
get
70
throttled?
gigs.
What's that, Chris?
Do you ever get throttled?
Throttle? What do you mean?
Some companies, like, you may have unlimited data, but once you hit, I don't know, 20 gigs, they'll slow your usage down. Like, you still get unlimited, but you just
Oh
get
yeah,
a slower bandwidth,
yeah,
and it makes
Yeah, that's
streaming.
me.
yeah.
I have that.
We got 60 gigs, and then after that it slows down.
I got
Okay.
70. She slows down, and it's worse than dial up when you get to that slow shit. It might as well not even exist. They say unlimited. They might as well just be like, hey, you might as well go cook yourself some dinner, go take a shit, maybe put on a movie while you're waiting, and then after that movie, maybe your website's loaded. Maybe. It's
Wow.
horrible.
Yeah,
We're spoiled, aren't we? I have no idea
mine
how
isn't
you
that
all
much.
We are
Mine
spoiled.
isn't.
So what I have now is I have a Wi-Fi Smart Hub. It's got, I think I pay $85 a month for 500 gigs, and I never use all of that. And I could take it anywhere I want, plug it in. As long as there's cell service, I can get Wi-Fi. It goes based on the cell service. The cell service is shit, the Wi-Fi shit. So I use that on site a lot and in camp. The camp I'm in doesn't have Wi-Fi. So the most I think I've ever used is like 420 gigs, or no, what a weird number. It was over 400 gigs anyways, and it was yeah, I was a little worried, right? But no, 500 gigs has saved my ass time and time again. I TikTok a lot. It takes a lot of data to TikTok. Amazon
Yes.
Prime Video takes so much data, right? I watch movies all the time.
Can you watch your videos at a lower resolution, maybe? And
Yeah,
like
that's what I
maybe
have to do, but it's
720
not worth it for
versus
me.
a higher resolution?
Yeah, I could, but hey, I pay for that data. I'm gonna use it, right? I'm gonna
I mean,
use
yeah.
it. And yeah, my coworker, he plays his video games on there. He streams his Xbox, streams his PlayStation, whatever he does, plays his Call of Duty online on that Wi-Fi, and he never goes over. And he does that every night. So it's 500 gigs. You don't know how much 500 gigs is until like they're using it, right? And you don't come close to using it, or you come close but you still have it, and you're like, wow, I really pushed this thing hard this month, and I still haven't used 500 gigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to go get one of those hubs from AT&T. They want
Yeah, it's worth it.
they want a ridiculous amount of money for it. It's like $500.
To start, like $500 to pay it, like
500.
so. Yeah,
500 for the device. Then you got to pay the monthly fee for the service.
So here I paid. I can't remember how much I paid. So it was for 2 years. So obviously $200. But so more than that. So I pay $85 a month, but the data is really only 70, right? So
Yeah.
the other $15 a month I'm paying for the box, right?
Yeah,
And
for the
then
device.
over 2 years, yeah. And then I paid it all up now. It's good, whatever. Yeah, it's a good box to have. You can get things like that through, I think it's called Maple. That one is like $180 a month, and you get unlimited Wi-Fi. They don't even cap you. It's unlimited Wi-Fi, $180 a month.
Yeah, that's a little too much for me to spend. I don't care about it that much.
Yeah. And I know Elon Musk has Starlink as well. You pay $600 for the box, and you get unlimited Wi-Fi as well wherever you go.
Yeah. Maybe if I own a few oil wells, I'll do that. That's just a little too much for me. Oh man, even though I just work 21/7 or 42/7, so I just come home and watch all I want on my Wi-Fi at home.
Are you living a single life?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No. I have a wife and 2 kids.
And the wife's cool with being on 42 days? And
Oh yeah.
yeah, she's like, get out of here. Go away. We don't want you. Go away.
Have you met David?
We've been married for 20 years, and
Oh,
18 of those years I've
doesn't
been in
want
the
you.
oil field.
She don't want you around. Go away. No, man, it honestly takes a really tough woman. And I've said it a lot. And I don't know if you listened to our podcast where we had the Oilfield Wives episode, but we had a whole episode dedicated to Oilfield Wives. We had our wives come on, and we talked to them. And it was a great episode, one of the better ones that we had, and it was phenomenal. And I say it all the time on TikTok, and I say it all the time. Period. Oilfield wives are the foundation of this lifestyle.
Oh, yeah.
Without a good wife standing behind you, supporting you, knowing that, hey, my man's coming home, and I've also got to hold the fort down here for him. I can't call him with every issue, and oilfield wives are the foundation of this lifestyle. And without a good wife at home, it just doesn't work, right? And
There are some wives that can't handle it. So
there are, and that's not a knock to them either. The lifestyle's not
Just-
for everybody,
Just
right?
ask
It's
half
not.
the company men I know that are like on their 5th marriage. They'll tell you.
Yep.
It doesn't work
Yep.
for everybody.
yeah, it doesn't
Yep.
work for everybody.
That's why.
The
As a company
oilfield
man, he's gotta be
nowadays,
making that. That's why
oilfield
as a company
nowadays
man,
is
he's got to
a
be making
single
$2
man
grand a
life.
month or a day. He's got to be making $2 grand a day to pay for those other 4 wives, right?
Oh, yeah,
Probably, yeah.
making day But oilfield nowadays it's a single man's life. What it is.
It is. It is. It's hard. It's hard, man. And my wife tries not to get upset with me or pick fights with me when I'm gone, because she knows
Yeah.
my head's got to be in the game. I can't have an argument with her, go to work thinking about that argument. My mind's not in the game. My head is not straight if I'm thinking about the fight I just had with my wife, right?
Yeah.
So, someone's going to get hurt, someone's going to get killed. So she's not going to let me be a complete asshole because of that. She will fight with me if she needs to. But
Oh, yeah.
if she's going to be, if it's a little thing that's maybe doesn't matter, she'll wait till I'm home. We'll talk about it then. And actually, that actually helps, because by the time I get home, she's like moved on from that, right? And she's like, you know
Yeah,
what, it wasn't worth it,
both
or it
have to
was.
settle down.
Yeah, yeah. And I really appreciate that, because I've been at work while I've been mad at her or upset that she's upset with me, and it's not good. My mind is racing a million miles a minute, trying to get what I'm trying to do done safely, plus thinking about how I fucked up at home and how I'm gonna fix that. Right?
Yeah, us as crane operators, and Chris will agree. Once we drive over that cattle guard,
Leave your
shit's-
feelings at the
that
gate.
shit's out there. Leave your fucking feelings at the gate. They don't exist here. And that's
Yep.
it.
Because
Yeah,
it's for
same.
everybody's safety. It's not so much about it's not important what's going on, but what's more important is what's going on right here in front of you.
True.
Because
True.
if you think of it this way, every hard hat on location represents a family, and I have an obligation to make sure that every hard hat goes home to their family.
I'll show you something. Hold on.
The same way they got there.
Oh yeah. Now I don't care if you go home dirty. Like if you bust your butt just working your ass off, and there you go. There's your hard hat.
Oh, I don't know if you
I
can
don't
see
care if
them.
you go home dirty, but you better go home safe.
I think he's got one of those shark fin hard hats.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Oh, is your kid on the bottom?
Oh no, it's a V guard. Oh no, it is.
Yeah, man. I got my pictures of my kids in my hard hat, right? Like you said, every hard hat represents a family. This is my reason why. This is why I show up, do what I do, put in 100%, go home and earn my sleep, and why I work safe, right? Why if think about their future. If something happens to me at work, what happens to them? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they got my wife and shit like that, and I'm sure she'll do what she has to do to provide and provide them a good life, but she's gonna struggle a little bit. And I'd rather get home safe and be the one struggling to help
my
them,
wife,
so they don't.
Yeah. Oh yeah, my wife has a list from me of if something happens to me at work, she used to go through those steps of what happened, who's at fault, and then get a lawyer and get money. So
At,
if something
ask
happens to
for the
me in the oil field,
GSA, ask
it's not
for
my fault. Yeah.
right. There's definitely a list of things that could go wrong. I guess there's probabilities and potentialities, and there's certain questions
Yep.
like my bride is to ask. Now that I'm not in the oil field any longer, it's basically did I get hit in the head by a student at the school, but it's a lot less dangerous. Well, I don't know. We've had a few Wreck-It Ralphs come through the school that was something else to hold.
Those are the ones you got to tear out of that crane. Get lost. Halliburton hands. Oh God, you got those up there?
You got them Slumberjay hands. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Halliburton folded up shop during the pandemic. They left Canada. I think they're out on the East Coast a little bit, but they're done. I think Slumberjay's done. They turned into Liberty, I think it is.
Yeah.
Liberty's here. BJ, we got BJ. We got BJ, Slumberjay, Halliburton, Trican. Oh geez, what are some other ones, man? Like you don't really see too many of them anymore.
Trican tried starting down here, and I guess they couldn't make it. They went back to Canada.
And
Yeah,
what do we have
Trican
down here
or
now? Next tier?
Tricant.
What's that, Chris?
Wasn't there a next tier that used to be somebody else?
Oh, next tier was C&J.
C&J wound up becoming next tier. Yeah.
We have a joke about Trican. They're the kids that rode the short bus, right? And you know, and we love our Trican.
The short bus that's missing a wheel.
Well, we have a joke about Slumberjay, all day Slumberjay. So.
Oh yeah. They're not here anymore either. Like I said, they sold out to Liberty, I think, and I don't know what's happening, man. I know with the red tape and
the Slumberjay deal. The Slumberjay deal is they sold to Liberty, but it's a 3-year thing, and they still get 15% of the profits from Liberty.
Wow, what a deal!
Schlumberger did not sell their open hole. They didn't sell their logging. They didn't sell their drilling side. They just sold the frac and coil and all that stuff.
Yeah, I started seeing Liberty up here late last year a little bit more, and I seen them a lot this summer. But yeah, I stopped seeing Slumberjay truck. Wow, I can't remember the last time I saw a Slumberjay truck. You know, Halliburton. I know Christmas 2 years ago they just right, like we're come New Year's we're all our shit's gone. We're pulling out. See you guys later. And they finished off the last of their contracts on the rig, the last of their cement jobs, and then they dipped.
Now, BJ, you mentioned BJ. BJ folded up shop a long time ago, and they sold to Baker or something, or they bought Baker or something like that. But B&J disappeared for a while, and now they're just now starting to make a comeback.
Well, that's because BJ changed their name a little bit, right? It used to be BJ Energy Services?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Now it's BJ something else. I can't remember what it is, but see, companies are smart, right? If they take one word out or one letter or hyphenate something, completely different company. Yeah, they can start over.
A coal company up there called Critic, because I remember there used to be a coal company we worked with a good bit called Critic, and they were a Canadian company. They had some really nice equipment. They just didn't have the best people that on the job I was on anyway.
I've never seen Critic. Do you guys have a company down there, Crescent Point?
Not that I'm aware of. No.
So up here, Shell sold a large chunk of their assets to Crescent Point, and they sold it for a nice chunk. I don't understand. They invested a lot into it too just before they sold, which is weird. But yeah, Crescent Point is sort of running the ship on a lot of Shell's old stuff up here. I hear their Shell's off in BC right now, and they're just finishing up their Alberta stuff, and I think they're kind of done. Too much red
Now,
tape in Canada, right?
what do y'all name your shells up there? Like the area you work, shell is at
What's that? Sorry.
the oil field shell. What is the name of the oil field that you work? Down here where I'm working is the Eagleford shell. Then you got the Permian shell, you got the Bakken shell. So
The
Yeah.
Austin Shaw.
So like the Duvernay is a shelf, right? Shell. Duvernay, the Montney. You got shit. There's a few of them, but the Duvernay and the Montney are like the big ones. Were up and around Alberta, right, where I work. And then you got the
yeah,
oil sands. I'm not even sure. I think it's called the oil sands. That's all I've ever heard them being called. But I know where I work for sure is the Duvernay and the Montney.
Now, how deep are y'all's wells? Do you have any idea?
So actually, where in Fox Creek where I was working, the 2 winters ago, we actually broke the record for deepest well in North America, and then a company in Texas broke that a week after that, and then
Yeah.
another rig in Fox Creek where I work broke their record a week after that, and I think it was like 1,300 meters or something like that.
Oh, here we go. I can hear Connor in my head saying, "How much is that in feet?"
Feet, so it's 13 kilometers. 1,300 meters is 13 kilometers.
oh,
Yeah, I don't
Wait,
have my phone handy, or
1,300?
I would look that up.
No, 1,300. So 1,000 meters is a kilometer. So 1,000 meters is one kilometer. So 1,300 is 1.3. So I fucked that up.
well, 1 kilometer
I
is
think it
like
would be like
1,000 feet.
I thought it was more than
Is
that.
it 1,000 feet?
Yeah, one kilo is 1,000. My
Wow.
wife took home, so let's see, kilo.
I know it's a few kilometers down though. And someone in Texas keeps breaking the record, and then someone over here will break the record, and then you know, we're just going deeper and deeper, right? Because over the last few years, they've been some shallow wells. Well, they've been some shallow wells, and you got if you want to find more, you gotta go. If you want something you've never had, you must be willing to go somewhere you've never been, right? So
Well, it makes sense. The further they can go laterally, I guess the less wells they would have to drill because they can get that same production out of one well. So maybe a 3 well pad would be the equivalent of a 5 well shallow pad. So
Now, how many kilometers deep is it?
the one that was the record over there in Canada, do you know how deep it was?
geez, I think so. It was 9 down, and then I can't remember how many over. 9 kilometers down or something like that, and then like
Well,
shit.
9 kilometers is 29,527 feet.
And then a certain bunch over. Yeah, they're going pretty deep on these wells now.
I can't even imagine the size of the coil string to
Huh.
get that deep.
They'd have to do all
Work
dissolvable
over?
work over. Yeah, that's the only way. Snubbing unit.
Yeah.
Yeah, snubbing unit.
I'll get a lot of snubbing units up there too. Right?
I want to say there was a 30,000 foot well I heard about in Oklahoma. Um, I don't know if they're generally 30,000 foot in Oklahoma or if they just had one. This crew that one of the coil crews I worked with had a sister unit up there, and they were telling us that they had tagged a plug or the bottom hole was 30,000, and that just blew my mind just thinking of how large that reel had to have been.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you guys. What is the most like? Okay, what? I don't want to say accident, but what's the biggest fuck up you guys have had on a crane? If you don't mind me asking, like what's the worst fuck up you've seen, or what's the most dangerous situation you've been a part of where nothing happened, but it could have been bad.
Ooh, that's a good question, and I don't know that my answer is an oil field answer. Probably working in a refinery, we were doing some demo work. We were demoing some pipe, and demo work is kind of like tree work. It's guesswork. It really comes up to the guy on the torch. It's mathematically, oh, this piece of pipe is a certain diameter, it's a certain circumference, and so far long. They should be able to give you a pretty damn accurate weight, but you don't know how much scale has built up on the inside. And if the guy on the torch gets a little greedy and bites off a bigger chunk for whatever reason, we were pulling out some demo pipe, and when the piece swung free, uh, it's pretty much wide open throttle and boom up, and pray you can get it back under control in a hurry. But that's doing some demo piping was probably my most butt puckering moment I've had to deal with.
Butt pucker in a moment. Love that.
Now oh, I haven't had any like accidents, but I've been out over boomed on purpose, get a load and bunny hop it back. But I wouldn't do that as a new operator because I would not know what to feel or anything like that. You kind of feel yourself getting kind of light in the seat, and when you start doing that, you just boom up, cable down, boom up some more, and then you cable up and let it slide to you. You just keep doing that until it gets back into your chart, your working chart. I've been light in the seat a lot just to get a load closer to me. I've seen accidents where just careless shit. What, like a 2 crane pick? One guy was over here, and another guy, and the guy on the left was picking up real fast, and the guy on the right couldn't keep up, and his crane started tipping. So you let it down. It's just carelessness. It's operator error most times.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Huh.
Well, did you have
Now, what about your pole trucks? How many Jim pole trucks y'all got?
Like a vac
did
truck?
You got a lot? No, your Jim pole truck. Pole truck. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like the pole truck, like for moving rigs. The pole. I haven't seen any accidents with that, but I've been on a vac truck where we were sucking on condi, and the other operator had his blower, or not his blower, his hot seat going, and it turned the other truck into a flamethrower. And Buddy was standing right beside it, and he's like, "Whoa, what the fuck's that?" Experienced operator. He moved out of the way just in time, singed his eyebrows right off his face, and
Wow.
turned the back truck next to it into just char. It was gone like that. Yeah, you don't fuck with condi, right?
Yeah.
no?
See here, just a second.
What are you looking up?
Vacuum truck. Now, have you ever seen any of this while working with the vacuum truck?
Oh, is this where they collapse a dead gum tanker?
Yeah, they implode it.
So I've
Yeah.
never seen that.
I seen one
Never.
on TikTok. I seen one on TikTok. They're sitting there sucking. It didn't open up their vent valve and sucked it all the way in.
I've never seen that. But I've been a part of some things where it was like, "Hey, did you open this?" And then it's like you start hearing noises. You're like, "Shit! Whoa!
Yeah,
Stop! Open it!
yeah.
Restart!" That's when you're green. And yeah, no, those are a lot of common issues that we're.
There you go.
Yeah, wow, that's
Yeah.
crazy. That's crazy. That's a lot of force.
I seen that on a vac truck on TikTok.
You seen that?
It's crazy. Yeah.
Wow.
Now,
Wow.
this is our shell. I don't know if can you see that?
I don't
Yep.
know. It looks like mineral in your mouth. One hell of a intro video. Okay, skip ad, please. Skip ad.
Are you having some mouth problems you'd like to tell us about?
Oh, hold on. I got stop that. Hold on. Let me show you this one.
The hell are you doing to us?
Hang on. This is our shell. And I looked at the Canada shell. It's not as big as ours. This is our shell. Got the Bakken.
The Haynesville, the Eagleford. What is that? The Barnett.
Got the Bakken up here. Where's
Wow.
that? Niobrara, the Lewis. This over here, got the Barnett. This over here is a Permian. Oh,
So the Bakken actually goes. The Bakken actually goes into Saskatchewan a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Haynesville, Eagleford. Eagleford is where I'm working right now. New Albany, Ohio. Marcellus. Marcellus is a big shell up in Pennsylvania.
Wow.
But they're fighting all that. Most of that's all federal land, and they have to get federal leases and stuff. Like around this area, Montana, they got to get federal leases and stuff.
I didn't realize it went that far north. There's
Oh,
a
yeah.
ton of oil wells in North Louisiana, not so much South Louisiana. We have too many oil refineries and chemical plants. You don't
Yeah.
really see any oil field in South Louisiana. It's all north, mostly North Louisiana.
Yeah.
Like my shirt says, I love Canadian oil and gas.
I thought that was I Love Maples.
Ah.
Oh, Canadian, it's not that bad. I just absolutely hate Canadian bacon. All it is ham. I hate it on my
What?
pizza. I do not like
What?
Canadian bacon. Nope.
What?
We can be less friends. It's
Man.
all right.
We're not
I,
gonna be less friends off of it. I'm just letting you know you're wrong, but like whatever.
I eat Canadian bacon and pineapple on my pizza.
Oh my god. What is wrong with you guys?
Come
Are
to
you guys
South
okay?
Louisiana.
Like,
Come let me feed you for a week and then try to go back to your Canadian whatever.
You need to
it's
come
that
to him
American
first.
it's that American school system, isn't it? You guys
Go to
are
him.
doing something. Indoctrination. It's indoctrination.
Try our food before you try saying that.
Walk over to
I
French
love
Canada.
American food.
Over to French
Man,
Canada. Eat Cajun food. Or you can go down to
th-
Louisiana and eat.
3 of my favorite restaurants in the world are in America. You got Chick-fil-A, fucking bomb. You got In-N-Out, amazing. Bob Evans, don't know if you guys have a Bob Evans wherever you guys are at.
This guy said in and out. I
In your
walk
mouth
in
and out your
and I
ass.
walk right back out of every in and out I've ever been to.
I'm Canadian, I'm sheltered, okay? Like, come on.
Whataburger.
In and
Can you
out
say
is
Whataburger?
disgusting.
I've never been to
Whataburger.
Whataburger, but I have been to White Castle. I've been to White Castle. What a shithole that was.
Then
Man,
once you
you
go
can
to
get 30 of
Louisiana,
those little bastards for $27.
once you go to Louisiana and eat fried alligator, crawfish, seafood boil, and
Oh,
all that shit, you can
I
come
don't
over to
like fish.
Texas. You can come over to Texas. Then you can have Texas barbecue. The shit in the world.
Mm. Can't wait, man. Can't wait. Texas and NOLA are on my everywhere in Texas. Basically, is on my bucket list. I'm Albertan. We're compared to you guys all the time. I want to know what I'm being compared to.
Well, don't go to Corpus. I'm just saying, stay out of Corpus. You'll
Uh,
be all right. No, Texas. I like Houston. The food in Houston's good. You'd have to ask Dave for some better places to eat than that. But Houston gets my vote for best
Okay.
food in Texas.
The best places to eat in
Is
Texas are hole in the walls.
Now that I'll agree with.
okay. Is
I
Fort
will
Worth,
agree with.
Texas? Is Fort Worth ghetto? I keep hearing Fort Worth is ghetto.
Fort Worth, Dallas, that's all Oklahoma.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Any
They can
major
have
city's
that
gonna
shit.
have a bad area, so I can't really comment. I personally like the Fort Worth side compared to Dallas, but hey, maybe I didn't go to the right places in Dallas. Is all there is to it. I mean, I've been to Arlington. I went and saw Guns N' Roses at the Cowboy Stadium, so at least I did get to see a show there worth paying to see.
You guys need to
But
come to Canada.
Did you go to the stadium that served beer or the one that didn't serve beer?
I went to the Cowboys, whatever.
Before the new one or the old one?
No, is there another new one? Jerry's World's been there for what, years now, huh?
Yeah, but
They
they had
served
the first.
alcohol at the Guns N' Roses concert I went to.
Okay, so the first stadium they had, you could not serve alcohol there. It was a dry county. So they moved the
Wow.
stadium. They moved the stadium. It's AT&T Stadium.
That's
They
where I
serve
went,
there.
AT&T Stadium.
So they served beer there. The first stadium they had, you couldn't serve beer. It was a dry county.
Wow.
Wow.
All right, so are we getting ready to move on to our picking in the blind, and do we want to give it to Dick Frost, our
Well,
guest?
we'll let him do his first, and then we'll come back.
Okay.
Oh,
All right. So I listened to your guys' podcast. When Dave told me about it, I was getting ready to have him or whoever else was coming with him onto our podcast. So I was pretty excited. So I listened to all your guys' stuff so I could, be educated, right? And it turns out I really liked your guys' podcast. Picking in the blind was something that really stuck out to me, and I loved it. So so my picking in the blind for you guys is no one else is around, right? And you can tell a lot about a person based on if they return the grocery cart to the stable or if they leave it just sitting there, even if nobody's watching. So do you guys return the grocery cart regardless of anyone's watching or not, or do you just leave it sitting there in the stall?
always return it. I don't care if it's a downpour of rain, and if I come across we call them buggies. I call them buggies. Is that what you call them, Dave?
Buggies. You can call them a buggy. You can call them a
I
grocery
call him
cart.
shopping cart.
So if I pass another buggy that's on my way to the cart return, I'll probably even grab that one. And if there's even a few that are around the cart but not in it, I'll probably put them all in I'll corral them up. I don't know. It's just the rancher in me, I guess, to return them
This
all
guy
home.
ain't asking the Lord for his forgiveness. This guy already has forgiveness. When he dies, he's going to heaven. He's automatically in. Just punch in. That's it. You're
I
clocked
can't
in,
stand,
brother.
like, I will not silently judge you if I watch you put your groceries away and then just drive off. I'll if I can get your attention, I'm gonna say something smart aleck to you. Even if you don't roll the window down or stop, yeah, you're getting a little bit of hate.
Sent here by Jesus himself to do the Lord's work. I love it.
So
I love it.
Now, I don't care about your feelings. if the cart corral is close enough to my truck, I will put it in there. But if there's not one, like down here, people run over the cart corrals. So there's not one around. I'm not gonna walk 2 miles to a fucking cart corral to put the
I will
shopping
go through
cart
the
in.
trouble to park by a buggy return corral just so I don't have to do that. But
That's your OCD and ADD.
I can't add. What are you talking about?
Now, if
So I got
it's
that.
wait,
I got
if
that.
there's not a cart corral around me, at least 4 parking spots away, I'll leave it right there by my truck, or I'll put it up on those little medians they put. I'll put it in the grass.
I've been sitting on this here for a couple weeks now, hoping to get it out at some point. And I'm glad I got to come on tonight because I was holding this one in, right? And I got that from my coworker's husband. who is a man of Jesus himself. I don't think they call him Jesus. They call him Yushka or whatever. I can't remember what it is. I don't want to offend anyone. So I got it from him, and she's like, he could tell a lot about a person by if they return their card or not. And I thought, man, that's perfect because I'm returning my card every time, but like, you know, if I can get away with, I don't know. Even when I'm lazy, I want to return it too. You know, like sometimes I'll like push it off to the side, and then I'll go to walk away, and I'm like, no, I have to return this, and then I sulk about it the whole way. I'm like, right, because I don't want to be a dickhead. I don't want to be a bad person.
I go back to the beginning of the podcast. You can't judge somebody by the tattoos, so you can't judge somebody if they leave the cart out of the corral or not. So.
I've been judging you for a long time, Dave. It's okay. Don't feel bad. You should be used to like my glares and stares.
That just means he loves you.
Oh, we work together. We work for a company for we know my brother's of the Hook group on Facebook. He's been an admin in there for a long time.
He
think
stares
it was
at
Known
you
each
with
other for a while.
he stares
Yeah.
at you with love in his eyes and shit in his pants.
Oh, and a little bit of hate in my heart. Just a little bit of hate
A
in my
little
heart.
bit of hate in the heart, yeah. Oh shit, yeah.
Well, mine's not quite as
Chris,
philosophical of a pick in the blind, but mine is this: gas, propane, charcoal, or a pellet grill. We all like to cook.
you know
How
what
do
I'm
you
going to
cook?
say.
Huh?
You know what I'm going to say.
Hit me with it. Come
I'll
on.
let
Propane
him
and
go. I'll let
propane
him go first.
accessories. Propane and
What?
propane accessories.
Propane. He's propane.
Really? I'm not
It's
knocking
easy, yeah.
propane. I got a pellet grill last year for my birthday. I didn't go out and buy it. It was given to me by my bride, so like, yay! But I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I love that thing because I can set the temp. I can put the meat on. I can cook it low and slow, and I
It's a
can go in
lazy
and I
man's
can.
grill.
I don't care. I'm a crane operator. I didn't sign up for a hard life. I mean, so yeah,
Yes.
no,
Glad you
it's a
said
crane
that.
operator grill. I love it. I can
Yeah.
go in and I can work and fix other fixins and do things in the house. I can clean up the kitchen from what I prepped or
Yeah.
pellet grill all the way. Now, if I'm trying to do some burgers, because my pellet grill has a griddle on the side and it's gas, so I can do something quick and fast on that if I need to. But I'm a pellet grill man, hands down now.
What were you
Hell
before?
yeah.
A shitty cook.
I'm
The
glad
pellet
nothing's
grill has
changed.
made me a better cook.
Hey, do you
I
guys all
am.
have guys down there with glasses like this?
What, like the pit? Is that? I don't know.
Oh,
See
they're
your
not pit
glasses.
vipers, buddy. They're not pit
I,
vipers. They're heat waves.
Oh, those big wraparound glasses around your whole face.
They're
Some
safety glasses,
of the guys
actually.
are wearing them.
They're safety glasses, actually.
Oh, me,
do you judge somebody for wearing like you see these guys on the job site and they got on some like fancy high end shades and then it's like, dude, those aren't. They may have on like a really nice pair of boots and they're like, you're not even worth the boots or the shades you're wearing. Call him fingers because he'll never make a hand.
yeah. Now
Yep.
me, I like I smoke my meat. I love smoking. I love the smoke flavor. I love the smoke line. So it's charcoal and wood. I'll do my charcoal, get my base, and then I'll put my wood in there, smoke my wood. If I need to do hamburgers or hot dogs, shit like that, it'd be charcoal, straight charcoal. I don't like propane. I don't like pellet grills. I want to get an egg. Is what I want to get. And do and
I heard those are real nice. Now, how do y'all cook up north? I mean, y'all just put maple syrup on everything and call it good, or what?
I put ketchup on everything, so I don't know. I don't know, man. I just kind of eat whatever my wife cooks me, you know? I don't know what she does.
Now, y'all eat beans and toast?
Beans and toast, man. I live in a hotel and I get sub. I get LOA. if it's gonna save me money, hell yeah, I'm gonna eat beans and toast. Yeah,
I'm just,
man,
I'm
I'm
just
gonna
saying,
shit my pants, but hell yeah,
because our
man.
guy Crane
I
Brain. I don't know if
I
you
bought
watched
a
that
four.
podcast or not. I
Which
don't know if you listened to that podcast or not. But we did one. Picking the blind was beans and toast, and it was from our guy from the UK, the Crane Brain guy. And that's a delicacy or a breakfast meal in the UK. They eat it all the time.
oh man, I don't
Not a
know if you
chance.
ever seen any of my videos or not about like gas station sandwiches and how they make me shit my pants a lot. But like I make a bunch of them about, every time I see a toilet, I'm like, well, the gas station sandwich is kicking in again, right? And man, I don't know if it's gonna save me money. I'm gonna eat it. Like I bought a 4-liter can of pork and beans at Walmart not
Yeah,
long ago, and that was my dinner for 3 days. Right?
nice.
Like, hey, I don't eat the greatest sometimes, but I eat. It ain't about quality; it's about sustenance at this point, right?
Oh, yeah. I carry a
I don't
grill
know.
around with me.
I carry my air fryer.
Oh, I love my air fryer.
I
I love my
yeah.
wings in my air fryer.
Yeah, I got an air
I'm gonna
fryer
have
also.
to. Yep. I love
I,
wings in the air
I
fryer as
love
well.
I love my rice cooker.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to follow Crane Guy on TikTok because I have a series on TikTok called Cooking with Dick, and I cook everything in my air fryer. And
Oh, I
what you don't see behind the scenes is I'm calling my wife and asking her what the next step is, and then hanging up and filming it, calling her back. Okay, what now? Calling her back. Okay, what now? Okay, hanging up, filming the piece, calling back. Hey, babe, I did that. What now? She gets really annoyed with it, so it's funny.
Yeah.
have you heard of pen and paper? Do y'all have pen and paper up there? Maybe you could like write it down, some
Oh,
stuff.
they got to write it on a maple leaf.
Man, yeah, the
N-
maple leaves, they're
No.
starting to turn color now. They're getting brittle, and the pens freeze up in the Canadian winters. I can't write after a certain temperature, and right now it's 23 degrees right now. The pen works. Tomorrow morning, not so much. I gotta do it now if I do it right. So, or yeah, I don't know.
So what,
It's
what is y'all's daytime temperature?
well in the summertime, man. It's been hot the last couple of weeks. We've been getting like 30, mid 30s to high 20s, and
Celsius.
it's August. It's August now. Yeah, Celsius. It's August now. So in the mornings it's chilly. At night she's gonna start cooling down. During the daytime, I think it reached like 26 today. That's beautiful. In a month from now, we probably won't see 26 again till spring or summer.
Wait,
In a
it's
month
not
from
summer
now,
there now?
it's summer here now. Yeah, you gotta think. I'm up north,
They're in the
right?
same
So
hemisphere.
yeah, no, it don't matter. It don't matter, man.
What
Like,
what time
so
zone are
you
you
come.
in?
It's currently 8:21 here, so I'm in
He's
Mountain
in the
Standard
mountain
Time.
time.
Okay,
Travis time.
he's in Travis time, so that makes sense.
Yeah, it
That's
gets
why we
cold
tell
here, man.
Travis he's in Canada.
I live like right at the Rocky Mountains, so the weather changes on the fly. But where I work up north, when it gets cold, it gets cold. Like, I've worked in minus 55, as low as minus 55. It's fucking cold, right? That's all you need to know. After minus 30, it all feels the same. It's fucking cold. That's the temperature. Fucking cold. It's
At
minus go
30,
fuck yourself.
30 degrees here. It's cold.
It's minus go fuck yourself, and that's all we need to know about that, right? And and yeah, in the wintertime, man, like yeah, you can't put enough layers on sometimes. Doesn't matter what you're wearing, you're feeling it. You're feeling it, right?
So
It just depends on, what's that?
do y'all have like heated porta cans or facilities on job sites?
Oh yeah. Yep, there's all that stuff. Yeah. Some. You never see you haven't lived until you've sat in the porta potty at minus 40, sticking to the seat.
Have you ever stuck your tongue to a frozen pole?
My tongue or my thumb?
Tongue.
No, never. I've never done that. I've wanted to. Part of me says do it, but the smart part of me is like no. Right?
The part of you that puts up the buggy says no.
That's right. The part of me that puts the buggy away says no. And like I put my hand on it before and it stuck to the pole. Like my hand will stick to the pole and it'll peel off,
Oh
right?
wow.
And that's
Wow.
enough. That's enough for me. I've gotten frostbite on the back of my ear. It doesn't feel good. Frost
Oh.
nip on my cheeks. It's not good, right? I wear the same thing in the wintertime that I wear in the summertime, right? My coveralls with maybe like a shirt. Maybe I'll put on a hoodie underneath in the winter,
Yeah.
and that's it, because I still need to be able to move freely and safely, right? If I put too many layers on, I can't move, right? It restricts my movements. Did he
What are
just
you
freeze like
doing,
that?
Chris?
No, because on my screen you're frozen that pose, and I
Yeah,
just
you're
got tired of looking at it, so I decided,
yeah, you're frozen.
Join him.
yeah, you can't beat them, join them.
But yeah, man. Thanks for joining us, Dick. And Chris. I
I
had a
have a
good
Yeah,
new
man.
time.
Canadian friend. What's your TikTok name? I'll look you up
Dick
because
Frost.
cooking with Dick sounds like something I would definitely. That sounds bad. I'm gonna regret
So
saying that.
I have two TikTok accounts. I have Dick Frost 89 and then I have Frosty D 2.0. I couldn't put Dick Frost 2.0 because by that time I think my main account is grandfathered in for Dick. And when I went to go make my backup account, Dick was like, "Hey, no, we're not using that word here this time, right?" So they're like, "Nope, sorry, you can't use that." So it's Frosty D 2.0, and then I'm
F R
also
O
on
S T
Instagram.
Y
F
Frosty
R
what?
O S T Y Frosty D
2.0.
2.0, yeah. And then I have my Instagram is Dick underscore Frost 89. I'm also on YouTube, Dick Frost. Fuck it, find me there. Find me on Facebook, Dick Frost there too. I post everywhere.
Well, you have nothing else to do in Canada, so I mean it's okay. We understand.
In the wintertime, I'm depressed and I'm bored. Fuck it, let's hit TikTok. And I'm cold.
Well, I just followed you, so I'll be looking up some of your content. But you said you have a
Oh
whole
yeah.
series cooking with Dick, air fryer.
Yeah. I have cooking with
That's
Dick.
awesome.
I have because I work on a vac truck. There you go. Because I work on a vac truck, I have what's he sucking now?
Those are the glasses I was talking about right there, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, that video's not doing too bad, eh?
So yeah, no.
So I have what's he sucking now? Because I'm on a vac truck. Then I have cooking with Dick. I have a series on there where I interview other creators on the toilet. We call it On the Throne with Dick. I have what's the other one? Oh, and Terry's office. I see how long it takes me to annoy my boss to the point where he kicks me out of his office in different funny ways. One time I walked in just my boxers, and one time I walked in a dinosaur suit. I'm trying to get one of those one piece body thong, the banana hammock that Borat has, and I'm gonna walk into
Yeah.
his office wearing that. Yeah.
I will Amazon Prime you that for that video. I just want like a shout
You're
out in the video.
you're not the only one that said that. Dude, Amazon Prime it to me and I'll do it. Fuck it. What's there to lose?
Your job?
Nah. Dude, we're busy as fuck, man. He ain't gonna fire me. He's gonna yell and scream at me and make me feel like an idiot, but he's not gonna fire me.
Could you see walking into Jim's office in a blow up inflatable dinosaur suit and being like, Jim,
Yeah.
gotta
Oh,
go to work
God.
tonight, but here's my
Well, I
paperwork
walked
for the
in.
last
Can you
month.
imagine showing up to location there on the crane in a dinosaur suit?
I know a guy that would do it. That's what's bad.
I would.
That's what's sad. We both know some guys.
Oh yeah.
That is awesome.
Well, guys, look, we're cutting into my family vacation time. My bride's down
Yeah.
there wiggling my toes, like, hey, let's go do something. She wants to go get back in the pool.
Yep.
So
Yeah. My kids want to go swimming here before it closes too. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is fun, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Oh yeah. So we're glad you're here. Chris, thanks for coming in. Our sponsor, AAA Crane and Rigging. Go ahead, Chris.
AAA Crane and Rigging in Addis, Louisiana. We teach the CCO curriculum for Signal Person, Rig 1, Rig 2. We have a TSS, a TLL, and an LBC crane on the yard. We will be doing the lift director test very soon. We have all the curriculum. We're just trying to put that course together, but we'll be teaching lift director as well. So yeah, come check us out. 225-238-2664, I believe is the number.
It'll be at the beginning of this video on
Usually I have
YouTube,
to
and it'll be
verify
at
that
the
on phone,
end.
but I've been told it sometimes. I think that's the number, 225-238.
Yeah,
Perfect.
it'll be on the front.
All
It'll be
right,
at the
but yeah,
front
come
of
see us.
this podcast. Be sure to check us on iHeartRadio, YouTube, Spotify,
Oh yes.
RSS.com, Amazon Podcast, Google Podcast. We're on all of them.
Yep.
Come check us out.
Stay
Just
frosty.
do a Google search of the Linepull Podcast. We'll pop up.
Oh, and also go to our website. That'll be on here also. It's the linepoolpodcast.com.
Hey, you
We'll
guys
have
got a
news
website. That's phenomenal. Good for you guys.
have our news and updates. And we have Rough Iron coming up pretty soon in about 4 days.
Beautiful.
Y'all have a good one, man. Thanks for coming.
It was nice meeting you, Dick.
Nice meeting you, buddy.